I'll be covering a few last bits and again, some housekeeping rules similar to what I have told before, and then rehearse. This is very important. Like you have to talk to yourself, you have to talk to a colleague, you have to, because you should know few of the questions will be there definitely, like tell us about yourself or CAM technique or something that of the sort, and difficult colleague and behavioral questions. So those questions which are ought to be coming in the interview, and I'll go through some of the questions to a few people. They ask the common questions also. So I'll just go through the few of the common questions again. Then please practice those, because it's very important to have the you have to practice and you have to rehearse. So EDI, equality, diversity, and inclusion. So like for other questions, you have to create a narrative. And these questions, most of the trusts are now obliged to ask those questions during interview. So at least one or two questions should be would be related to this. And I have attended few of the interviews before COVID. So few trusts did not ask. However, few trusts did ask the questions around it. So what does equality, diversity, and inclusion mean to you? That means that we should treat people fairly and consistently, and valuing the difference between the staff, the patients, and communities, and understanding the different groups of people. So what happens is that sometimes we are not able to identify, especially if we are coming from, and again, no offense to IMGs, but over there, usually what happens in our home countries is that all are people of color or all are similar. So we are quite similar over there. When we come to different, like international areas, internationally we travel and we migrate. So there are then around you, there will be, again, predominantly there will be some ethnicity. However, there will be quite a mixture. So you do get different nationalities, you do get different people belonging to different religions, you do get different people of color. So what we should do is that first we should understand, and then we should value, treat, and respect according to their. So, and this is one of the, again, not only for interview, I have been observing in quite few, like past few months, my own behavior and other people's behavior. So it's very easy to manage people or to serve people, I would say, if you know that what is the difference between our own like staff or our colleagues, and you direct your action towards that. So this is very important. So in your answer, you should be able to say, first, start one line only, that yes, if they, because they won't ask you, very rarely they will ask you that what does EQI means to you. But if you go, I'll show you other questions which can be asked. So you can say that, of course, we should treat all sorts of people fairly and consistently, valuing differences and understanding different groups, and treating and respecting and managing. So this one-liner should be your opening, answer to that question. And then that's what from the start, I'm saying that your first sentence should be very engaging, first and last. So try to, like, of course, over there will be certain questions which we have not covered. There will be certain things which will not be. So you can, over there, you can again think of that and compose yourself, take few seconds and answer. But collect your thoughts and be yourself, to be honest. And so over there, different opportunities, why it is important that for the trust or for the different companies, it's not only NHS who is, again, I went through world international recruiting companies, how do they recruit, what are their processes. So they have also got, EDI, and you have to fulfill that. And so how to manage and what's the implication, service delivery, because if you don't know it and if you don't acknowledge it, again, for your personal life, I would say, because if you are working in UK, or if you are working in any other international, like in any other place where there are many internationally different and diverse people are there, so it would be easier for you after understanding. So first things first. So we have to understand what's the equality, what's the diversity, what's the inclusion. So I'll touch upon that in later slides once again. So what are the common questions? These are the common interview questions. So if they are asking you for the leadership question, so you see the first question says that what do you see as the challenges of leading and managing a diverse workforce? So over here you have to bring both. I think first session I talked about leadership skills. So over here you have to talk about leadership skills plus the EDI. And what is unconscious bias? And how would you increase your awareness of biases? So unconscious bias is that sometimes you have got from childhood, you have got different perceptions from your surroundings, from your environment where you are brought up. So you make certain perceptions, certain, thought process about certain group of people or about certain types of people. And then even your conversation reflects this. And that shouldn't happen. And it's difficult. And because you don't know that you are doing it, it stops you to grow. It doesn't affect any other person. It's bad for yourself. So in your answer, you can touch upon, or you can bring, or you can say the word unconscious bias. And how would you respond to a conversation? This is one of the common questions between colleagues, which was clearly offensive. So they can give you an example of a conversation. For myself, I am Muslim. So I had to ask a question to another interviewee that if a Muslim consultant, that was a BMS interview. So if a Muslim consultant deals with you in that certain sense, how would you, respond? So, and again, it can be people of color, or it can be even, very frankly, certain ethnicity. So those questions can be asked. So don't get bold, don't get stumped. So you can, again, I would repeat that many trusts might not ask EDI questions, but now, as per the NHS guidelines, most of the HEE London says that most of the interviews should contain at least one question around that. So expect that. And don't get, I would say, offended even, or don't get just stumped that, oh, because of my, my appearance, they're asking me that question. So what do you understand by equality and diversity, and how your definition of understanding, again, similar, like definitions. And how would you describe your current thinking about diversity and how it has changed? So you see how I have answered that question during my webinar, that now my thinking has been changed. And it was not same few months back. And I do admit that because I never, you never, sometimes eyes don't see what mind doesn't know, or sometimes you don't think about those things. But I would say that for your personal life also. So definition, again, one thing. Second thing would be that you can just talk about unconscious bias, make a starting sentence, write it down, I would say, and, practice that. Okay. Other ways of asking questions, that how would you ensure, again, into your role, or as a consultant. So you can touch upon leadership, you can touch upon EDI, both. So manage, and within the team you manage, that you discover that there are tensions between the team and which are affecting the performance, because all of us are here for sake of patients. So you should be passionate, you should be talking about that, and you should not just be talking about that, you should actually, not for only interview, you should exhibit this behavior in your wherever you are working and wherever you are at home also. So what is your understanding of respect? And it can be very mild question even, that just about understanding. So again, what you have to do, that don't put out the definition only, put up a scenario, put up a observation. If you have not because in my interview, it was asked that, have you ever been, felt racism? So I had not, fortunately, but I had observed it very closely. And because I'm out of my home country, I think more than 10 years now. So different countries and different people and different nationalities. So I had observed that. So I put an example of that. So I didn't just kept quiet that, oh no, I haven't ever been a victim of racism, and stopped over there. I put up the example, and then how I stepped up. Actually, that was actual example, and how I stepped up, and how I try to make other people, because it's just sometimes you just have to remove the curtain, because all of us are adults, all of us are very compassionate human beings. I believe innately they are very good. So sometimes, circumstances and things and pressures make us a bit bad, unfortunately. So it's just like that, remove the curtain in front of the eye. And most of the people, I have never seen, never ever seen, I have never seen that if I've tried to make other person aware, or like, try to, or myself even, that try to make slightly more compassionate, everyone and each person has responded, regardless where and when. Okay, so more detailed answers demonstrating, and then NHS Equality Diversity Improvement Plan. So just, even if you don't know the details, you should know that there is a plan, if you understand what I'm saying. So you can say that there is a plan, and NHS Equality Diversity and Improvement Plan, and it also says, and then examples, and then reflect on your own. So you can just personalize your question, your answer. Always try to personalize. And even if you're an observer, then you can just put up a reflective thing that I saw this, I observed this, and how I reflected, even if you weren't involved in the incidents. So Martin Luther King says that, very nice actually, that there are some things in our society, some things in our world, to which we must always be maladjusted to. So if we are people of goodwill, so we should never adjust ourselves. We should never accept those things, to be honest. And to racial discrimination, segregation, religious bigotry, we should never adjust to economic conditions, finances, and take the necessities from many to give the luxuries to few. And you see, consumerism. Yesterday, I was just listening to some, not podcast, but some YouTube video, and they were saying that how many hundred of handbags someone had that. But really, what's the fun of, so I was just saying that, oh, this is consumerism, and you just accumulate. But what should we you should be again reflecting that it should not go over the board. It should not, excess of everything is bad. Excess of, even I'd say, knowledge is also not good. So so this was very nice. Actually, I just saw that, and I thought that I will share it with you guys. That never ever adjust yourself to anything which is not good, and which is neither safe, non-political, non-popular. Just uh, take the things which are right, always. So in your answer, if you want, you can just take tiny thing from this, that you should never adjust, last two lines, and you can give it to the interviewer. Actually, in these answers, what the interviewers are looking for. So they are looking for team building, recognizing other views. It's not only that they are just looking for. So there is a tick box exercise I told you in the start, that listening, networking, influencing, persuading. So are you just thinking for your job only? Okay, you do go to the hospital, or so we sometimes don't think over these qualities, and we sometimes don't, just overlook those things. So networking, influencing, personal awareness, this is very important, again, not for only interview, but for your own personal development. Confidentiality, again, so this is very important, very, 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 I must say. And we should be very sensitive apart from, in all seriousness, we should be very sensitive to these issues. Honesty and trust, compassion, and acting as an ambassador. So make your answer, try to have few things from this. So diversity, like enthusiasm, work-life balance, empathy, own initiative, then again leading by example. This is my favorite leadership style. And you can say that it changes according to the circumstances. You can make your own. So it should be honest answer, but it should be your own, recipe. Okay, so can do attitude, service improvement, proactivity. This is very important again, that if you see something is going wrong, if you say just proactively, I'm not saying that poke your nose in every thing, but if someone asking for your help in something, you should be there. You should be proactively, try to solve. And again, please, please, please be honest to yourself. Be honest to you as much as you can be to your colleagues, as much as you can be a better human being, as much as you can be. And of course, not all the time you will be able to help others. Not all the time you will be don't make yourself a carpet, doormat, or something that others should walk over you. But if you can, please do. Not only for interview, again, just for your own. And you will see your serenity, your own life becomes very serene if you try to. And you, again, it is an active effort. It doesn't come automatically. It is an active effort. How to make, like, how to better yourself, how to make yourself. So it's not like that happy people. So it was like that they respond, they don't react. Try to lessen your uh, reaction time to anything, and you will see a difference, definitely. So you see how many things they are looking for in your answer. But your one liner can answer at least, can cover at least 4 or 5 of these. So this is competency cluster. Again, managing, improving, working with others, demonstrating personal qualities, and setting the vision and direction and strategy. So what is equality? It's about a fairer society where everyone can participate and has the same opportunity to fulfill their potential. In this world which is very diverse, and I don't know how many billions of us are living. So people are very, different, and we should be trying to build. Oh, then people can say, oh, we are not in government. How can we create a fairer society? No, you should act as a fair person. That's how you can create a fairer society. So what is equity? So equity is different from equality. If you see the upper right corner picture, equity is that providing, because each person, then again understand that each of us have got different circumstances, and again we should not use our circumstances as an excuse not to do some work. However, if sometimes or some place does that, so that is the responsibility of managers to create the circumstance which will make, exact resources and opportunities that equal outcome. And outcome again is not that you are working and you are signing out so and so reports, and you are, so we should, it's not equal number of reports, it's not equal number of administrative responsibilities, it's not equal. So, but each one of us have got, so what's the outcome, what we are working towards, what is our end goal? That is best possible patient care. That's what GMC says. So we can provide best possible patient care via different activities. It's not only as a histopathologist that only as report sign out. Yes, that is our major clinical activity, but that is not the only activity. So you should be able to understand that equality and equity has got different meanings, and the how to deal with that is also different. And as much as possible, again, we should try. So try should always be there. And so what is diversity? Again, we know that we are mosaic of people, a different background, different style, different needs. I always say that even at one home, or if you see your siblings, or if you are having kids, if you see kids, everyone has got their own style, their own need, their own, even some values will be different, some beliefs will be different. So we are again human beings. So we are not robots. We have got different perspective, different value, different beliefs as patients, as carers, as assets, and as an organization. So we are diverse people, puzzle fitting well into each other is the best, should be the best possible outcome, I would say. And then what's inclusion? That complete acceptance and integration of all patients, carers, employees, regardless of the diverse backgrounds. So why it is important? Then for patients, for them to assess the services. For employees, this is leading to sense of belonging, engagement. And then I would say one of the best things which we can bring to our colleagues, even if we are not in a leadership position, is a sense of belonging. Then sense of belonging is one thing which will give you and other people a satisfaction. That if you treat your laboratory, your organization as your maybe private. Why I say private? Because we what we build from our own scratch, or which we own the thing, that gives a very different sense of belonging. So over there, if you have got the sense of belonging for yourself and your colleagues, your fellow colleagues, your as a team, work as a team always. So what's Equality Act? You can talk about it, or you should at least know about it. So NHS Plan and Equality Act, these two should be reflected or just touch upon in your answers. That yes, there is an act. Again, you don't need to remember that this is what are the exact wordings, but you should know that there was some Equality Act. So what's that is Human Rights Act, FREDA. So freedom, respect, equality, dignity, and autonomy. And it is for not only organizations, it's like all around the world, universal kind of act. Then there are some 9, I think, protected characteristics. So these are the ones: age, gender reassignment, pregnancy, maternity, race, religion or belief, disabilities, either physical, either mental impairment, sex, marriage and civil partnership, or orientation, sexual orientation. So all of these are protected. 9 main characteristics.